Okay, now it's time to do some writing. I'm going to put the title for this piece above it in the color part right here. And again, I was saying that we're going to make a little diagram of dynamics. So let's write that word together. Dynamics is spelled D-Y-N-A-M-I-C-S. Dynamics. And I bet you've seen these before. I bet this isn't new information, especially if you did Theory Book 1. We talked about this already. These are volume changes in music. We're going to be writing on the front and the back of this. Now here's where I'm going to get colorful. When we see dynamics in music, there are P's, M's, and F's. And it goes like this. The softest dynamic is written P, P. And you notice I didn't write on this side of the fold. It's right here, where here's the fold, here's the first thing, okay? And that PP stands for pianissimo. So let's write that together. P-I-A-N, pianissimo, I-S-S-I-M-O. Pianissimo is the softest dynamic. Very, very, very quiet. When you see the ending issimo on a word, it's a lot of that thing. So it's very quiet. I'm switching colors now. So the next dynamic, a little bit louder but still soft, is piano, when we write a P for that. P, and the word is piano. You can see why I wanted to write in color, because it's going to be very close together, and this kind of helps me separate my terms out a little bit. Okay, now, you probably already know this, but I'll explain it for those of you who might not already. When we see an M in music, it stands for mezzo, and mezzo is medium. So our next softest dynamic, still soft, but we're getting a little bit louder, is MP, and that stands for mezzo piano. Mezzo is spelled M-E-Z-Z-O, kind of like pizza is spelled with two Z's. Mezzo is spelled with two Z's. And then piano, just like we spelled before, P-I-A-N-O, okay? So this is the softest, still soft but a little louder, getting medium soft here, okay? And then we're getting a little bit louder. So now it's time to introduce another word. I gave this to you in the last theory book, but we're going to do mezzo forte. Mezzo still means medium. Forte means loud. So now we're medium loud, not super loud, just medium loud. So that's an MF, like so. Mezzo spelled the same as you just spelled it, M-E-Z-Z-O. And then forte is spelled F-O-R-T-E. Okay, so now we're getting loud, okay? So I already said forte means loud. Mezzo forte is like medium loud, but forte, now we're definitely loud. So put an F. F stands for forte. So we write that word again, F-O-R-T-E. And then finally, the loudest. We need two Fs, just like we had two Ps for pianissimo. So we put two Fs, and that stands for fortissimo. And what did I say about issimo? It's like a lot of that thing. So it's fort, F-O-R-T, issimo, I-S-S-I-M-O. Ooh, I squeezed it in right to the end there. Now I left this big blank space on the bottom. Why would I do such a thing? Well, sometimes we don't play the same volume throughout a little phrase, or even on the same note. We might choose to get louder as we go. Now, you do not have to use a ruler for this. I am going to use a ruler because I love precision. So I am going to draw some lines here. Don't draw until you see the shape that I make. We're going to make a shape that looks a little bit like an alligator mouth here. So I'm going to draw one line that goes up. You see how my ruler is slanted here? That goes this way. And then I'm going to draw another line. I made a little smudge. I'm going to leave that. Remember, we don't need to be perfect. Okay, and it connects over here. Then it goes this way. So now I have this alligator shape right here. So go ahead and draw that on your dynamics chart here. And this is called a crescendo. So let's write that word. Crescendo is spelled C-R-E-S-C-E-N-D-O. And a crescendo means that you start at a softer volume and you get louder. It doesn't mean that you always start pianissimo and go to fortissimo, but it does mean that you start at some softer dynamic and then get louder. Okay, so you have everything written on the front here, but as I told you, we're going to be writing something on the back as well. So let's open this up. And now on this side, we're actually going to write those same dynamics, but in the opposite direction, from loudest to softest. All right, so who remembers what the loudest one was? I bet someone answered correctly. That's fortissimo, so we need two F's for that. So put F, F. I wonder if you remember how to spell it. F-O-R-T-issimo, I-S-S-I-M-O. All right. So that's the loudest one. What's the next loudest one? Forte. So we need one F. And forte is F-O-R-T-E. All right. So we're still loud, but we're getting softer. So now we must be ready for mezzo forte. We need an M, F. And then, of course, that's spelled mezzo, M-E-Z-Z-O. And forte, F-O-R-T-E. So now we're getting into the neighborhood of softer dynamics, aren't we? All right, so we need MP, not the softest yet, but we're getting there. MP, mezzo piano, M-E-Z-Z-O, piano, P-I-A-N-O. All right, now we're getting soft. So this next one is just a P. And of course, you know, that stands for piano, which is soft. And finally, the softest of all, pianissimo. So we need two P's for that one. And it's spelled P-I-A-N-issimo, I-S-S-I-M-O. So sometimes we want to start the note loud and then get soft, and that, of course, has its own name. I'm going to use my ruler again, but you don't have to. You can if you want, but you can just draw. Maybe you can draw straighter lines than I can. I don't know. All right, so I need this first line to angle down. And then this one, it's like an alligator facing the other way, you know? And then this one's going to angle a little this way. Ta-da. So now you can see it looks big and then it gets small because it's going to start louder and get softer. Now, just like with the other one, well, I'll give you the name in just a second, but just like the other one, you don't always start fortissimo and get pianissimo. It just means wherever you're starting is a little louder and where you're ending is softer. So this one is called a decrescendo. When you see de on the beginning of something, it often means the opposite of. So de, D-E, crescendo, C-R-E-S-C-E-N-D-O, decrescendo. So now you have this beautiful little example of all of the dynamics that you can have from the softest to the loudest. And a crescendo means that you start soft and you get louder. And then on the back, we have kind of the opposite view where you still have all those dynamics listed, but you see you might start out loud and then get softer. And that's called a decrescendo. All right, my friends, you're done with your theory book for today. Make sure that you close it up and put it with your other music lesson materials so you have it in your next lesson. See you next time.